Good afternoon, Keluarga Malaysia. This is Updates at Noon, and I'm Renee Fong. And making the headlines today, allowances for overseas civil servants using foreign languages during work to increase. Malaysia secures more than 9 billion ringgit investments from Japan. The government has agreed to increase the allowances of civil servants stationed abroad who use foreign languages during their official work. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said the increase would take effect on 1st January next year. Elaborating further, the Premier said this was to encourage Malaysian diplomats to master foreign languages in line with the need for language skill during diplomatic and trade negotiations. However, Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri did not indicate the type of allowance that would be increased. He added that while mastering foreign languages is welcomed, there must be commitment to uphold Bahasa Malaysia and to prove the use of the language would in no way hinder progress. He also said he had directed for all correspondence, including that involving foreign matters, be written in Bahasa Malaysia.
Saya sendiri telah mengutus surat kepada pemimpin-pemimpin dunia yang ditulis dalam bahasa Melayu dengan disertakan terjemahan bahasa Inggeris. Begitu juga penggunaan bahasa Melayu sewaktu penyertaan saya dalam pelbagai mesyuarat antarabangsa yang lain.
The Premier noted that heads of diplomatic missions must also take on creative approaches to attract more foreign investors to Malaysia. Deputy Finance Minister Wan Datuk Mohamed Shah Abdullah said in order to ensure the momentum of national economic growth, the government's focus in the upcoming budget is on reform initiatives to improve people's well-being. This is especially through increasing income and social protection, business competitiveness and related value chains, as well as strengthening the country's resilience against future shocks. Datuk Mohamed Shah said the national inflation level for the first 6 months of 2022 recorded a rate of 2.5%, much lower than the inflation rate in other countries, and remained under control due to the implementation of price control measures and the granting of subsidies by the government. Following the move to continue and improve subsidies, he said expenditure on aid and subsidies was estimated to increase to 77.7 billion compared to budget 2022's allocation of 31 billion ringgit.
In May 2022, our inflation rate by months is about 2.8%. If without the government subsidies and cash assistance by the government, the inflation rate goes to 11.4%, means that 4 times impacts.
On another note, the Deputy Minister said the government has not reached a stage where it would need to reintroduce the Goods and Services Tax (GST). He said this was attributed to the strong recovery momentum of the national economy, with a growth of 6.9% in the first half of this year and supported by increased domestic and foreign demand, as well as the labour market recovery. Malaysia has secured investments worth 9.3 billion ringgit via the latest trade and investment mission, TIM, to Japan, led by Senior Minister of International Trade and Industry, Datuk Seri Muhammad Azmin Ali. In a statement, the Ministry of International Trade and Industry, MITI, said the investments involve the strategic and high-potential sectors such as electrical and electronics (E&E), research and development (R&D), biomass, information technology and communication, chemical industry and food. Japan is one of Malaysia's top sources of foreign direct investment (FDI) in terms of implemented manufacturing projects, with a total investment value of $688 million recorded from January to June this year. According to MITI, Datuk Seri Muhammad Azmin had a highly engaging bilateral meeting with his counterpart, Nishimura Yasutoshi, the newly appointed Minister of Economy, Trade and Industry, METI, Japan, where they discussed a wide spectrum of areas. He also outlined Malaysia's Sustainable Development Goals, SDG, and expressed commitment to work together with Japanese companies and industries to ensure a stable energy supply and renewable energy by working closely with major Japanese companies for R&D and hydrogen energy. Malaysia and Japan will participate in greater engagement for cooperation for the presentation showcase at the Engine Forum Kobe 2022 on 25th and 26th October. The government is looking into the feasibility of implementing the concept of diyat, or financial compensation, to the necks of victims. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Religious Affairs, Dato' Idris Ahmad, said engagement sessions were being held to gauge if it could be implemented within the existing legal framework or if a new law is needed for this purpose.
Kita ada mengadakan round table baru ni Dr. Naim bulan lepas. Kita adakan round table yang di KSM sendiri dan saya sendiri yang telah pun mengkongsikan daripada awal hingga akhir untuk kita explore dan kita panggil pihak pengamal di kalangan lawyer kita explore dulu kerana kita nak lihat juga supaya ianya dapat di-mergekan dengan dari segi undang-undang sedia ada ataupun undang-undang yang perlu kita lihat baru tadi.
On Monday, the Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah expressed hope that the concept of diyat that he had proposed over the past few years can be studied and implemented in Pahang and the country in general. About 20,000 visitors are expected to enliven the Malaysia Day 2022 celebration at the Proclamation of Independence Memorial in Bandar Hilir, Melaka on 16th September. Communications and Multimedia Ministry Secretary General Datuk Seri Muhammad Mentek said preparations are in full swing to ensure that the celebration goes smoothly and is held in a comfortable manner. Commenting further on the matter, Datuk Seri Muhammad Mentek said for the first time, Malaysia Day celebration will be held in Melaka after Sabah and Sarawak. Therefore, the people of Melaka and other states have been invited to come and enliven the celebration. The KCOM Secretary General noted that in terms of preparations and planning, he was satisfied with the cooperation of various agencies, especially from the Melaka State Government. Datuk Seri Muhammad Mentek added that various exciting programs and activities have been lined up to attract visitors to join the Malaysia Day 2022 celebration. Among the guests of honour expected to attend the celebration are Yang di-Pertuan Negeri Melaka Tun Muhammad Ali Rustam and Melaka Chief Minister Datuk Seri Sulaiman Mad Ali. And that wraps up today's edition of Updates at Noon. In our top story, allowances for overseas civil servants using foreign languages during work to increase. I'm Renee Fong. Thank you for watching and have a pleasant afternoon.